Hi, my name is Chris Dukarski. I'm the owner of OrthoWell Physical Therapy. We have clinics both in Newburyport and in Beverly. I'm here today at Cherry Hill Soccer Field in Newburyport with my famous videographer and personal trainer, Christian Fabrizio. What I'd like to do today is to present to you a comprehensive warm-up and stretching program. Something you can do before you play soccer, obviously on the soccer field, lacrosse, field hockey. It's something you can do before other field sports as well as other court sports. The components of the program are going to include both static stretching, meaning statically holding a muscle stretch, as well as some dynamic stretches and some dynamic warm-ups. So obviously the purpose of this is to prevent injuries. A lot of you play 3 sports in the course of the year. A lot of you play soccer every season. You're in the school league, you're in club league, and that can lead to what? It can lead to overuse syndromes. So what are overuse syndromes? Things like tendinitis, bursitis. I'm sure you've heard of Osgood-Schlatter disease and Sever's disease. So the most common areas that are affected are your patellar tendon. It's where your quad inserts into your tibia. So it's like basically jumper's knee or runner's knee. Achilles tendonitis, of course your Achilles tendon. Achilles tendonitis there. As far as rotator cuff stuff, very common as well with throwing sorts of sports or throwing the soccer ball in. Osgood-Schlatter essentially is an osteochondral defect where the bone pulls away from its attachment site. So the patellar tendon inserts into your tibia, and it actually pulls away at the growth plate, and that's what causes that bump that people have after having a case of Osgood-Schlatter. Sever's disease is at the Achilles tendon, where your Achilles attaches to the back of your heel. Same thing, the growth plate starts to come apart and that little bump starts to form. So it's common sense, of course, to realize that stretching should be a part of a really comprehensive program, but it's only one of really 4 parts. At our clinic, we talk about the 4 essentials: the self-mobilization, the self-massage, the foam rolling, using the massager stick as a kind of a warm-up before you stretch, then going to your stretches, then doing strengthening exercises, then doing kind of dynamic functional retraining exercises or sport-specific exercises. So if there's any questions beyond what's presented here as far as a warm-up, come and see us. So let's get on with the stretching program. All right, so let's start with some upper extremity stuff. Okay, so essentially you want to get the shoulders involved, get the shoulders kind of warming up a bit. So I'll basically arm up overhead, stretch back and deep, then grab your elbow. Grab your elbow and pull it on down. And this is one of the static stretches we're going to start with. So when it comes down to stretches, typically research tells us up to 30-second holds, okay, but 20 to 42 seconds. So we're going to kind of go on the lower end of things to kind of allow you to be able to run through all of this stuff. The program itself really in total should be about 10 minutes. This video itself is designed more for coaches and for the athletes that really want to understand the concepts involved here. I'm probably going to do a second video of me just kind of running through everything that you could follow along, and maybe we'll put some music to it to make it a little bit more entertaining. Okay, so arm stuff all the way up, grab that elbow, pull down, tricep stretch. It's also a latissimus stretch over here. 20-second hold. I'm not going to hold for the 20. We'll just kind of run through everything just for basics here. And then alternate, opposite side, grab the elbow. Okay, you can even bend to the opposite side a little bit to kind of enhance the stretch to your latissimus dorsi. So 20 seconds that way. Okay, repeat 2 times, 3 times each side. I say it at a minimum twice for 20 seconds. Okay, then arms behind you. Open up the chest. Okay, bring the chin in, get the chest out. This is also a great postural retraining exercise. Of course, you guys are never on your cell phones, on your computers, right? You're never slouching. Huge problem for kids as well as adults. Okay, so to do like a little bit of a functional retraining exercise to kind of reposition, postural retraining, get a pec stretch out of it as well, even better. So same idea, chin in, open it all the way up, hold 20 seconds, and release. Repeat that twice, all right? I'd like to follow with kind of a dynamic movement exercise after that to kind of reactivate the muscle. Sometimes static stretches kind of deactivate the muscle. So if you can follow with some dynamic stuff, you kind of counter that deactivating effect, okay? So essentially I'll just kind of swing back, up and over, boom, up and over, boom. And same thing, I'd probably do this 10 times, back and forth, 10 times, all the way through, back and forth, okay? All right, so that's uppers. All right, then from there I go right to quad stretch. So I'll show you from the side here. So hand down for balance. Grab that knee, grab the ankle, I should say. Biggest thing with this is to, of course, keep your back straight. The other thing is to contract your glutes. Pull your tail in a sense. You're trying to thrust your pelvis forward to include both a hip flexor stretch as well as a quad stretch into this. Of course, my balance is going to be probably as good as you guys. But 30 or 20-second holds again. You can go 30 if you want to. Okay. After 20 seconds, same idea. Go this way. Now hold here, opposite hand for balance. Grab that ankle and then pull up. Okay. And same thing. Back straight. Contract the glutes. You're gonna feel it here in your quads. Nothing more than a moderate stretch pain. Nothing severe as you do this, and of course, no pain in your joints as you do this. It should be, muscle stretches. All right. And repeat twice each side. Doing this one, grabbing here, just doesn't get your hip flexors. Okay. The whole idea of balancing, of course, another issue. Then people start doing this as well. It's just not an effective stretch. You want to make sure you get down, grab that ankle, you lock your pelvis, keep your back straight, and it's much, much more biomechanically effective. All right. So twice of those each side, and then I'll follow that with a dynamic reactivation exercise. Squats. Okay. You go to squat, feet at least shoulder width apart. Okay. Weight goes down through your heels. When you go to squat, the first thing you want to think about is getting your butt up. This is another postural retraining thing I'm kind of throwing into this. It's multi-purpose, the stuff we're trying to show you here. So butt out, knees never go past your toes, right? You're bending from your hips. My back is just as straight here as it is right there, because I'm bending from my hips, getting my butt out, okay? So hands go out, boom, boom, back up and up. Weight goes through my heels, up and down, boom. Same thing 10 times, okay? Now something else that's nice about this is that by activating my quads, I'm reflexively deactivating my hamstrings, okay? So I'm gonna follow this with a hamstring stretch to make the hamstring stretch more effective, okay? So, foot's just relaxed, get your butt out, chest forward, stretch right there. And it shouldn't take much for those that are really stiff, okay? Typically in a clinic, we'll put legs up on something to enhance that stretch, but butt out, same thing, 20-second holds, back up, all right? Other side. Relax your ankle, butt out, 20-second holds. Okay? Makes sense? Look good, Chris. Back straight, butt out, chest forward. All right? I'll follow that with a dynamic exercise, a dynamic hamstring stretch. Up, kick out, boom, kick out, kick out. Kind of work your way along the line here, maybe 5-10 times each side. Boom, kick out, kick out, kick out. Back and forth, 5-10 steps each. All right? Okay, the next 3 stretches I'm going to do in combination. Okay, I'm going to kind of go from one to the next successively. Do those 3 first, and then follow with some dynamic warm-up stuff after that. So first one, calf stretch. All right, so get down to the ground, heel down flat, calf stretch is going to be fought right through here. For those of you that are flat-footed, we call that overpronation, somebody who overpronates their foot. When you supinate, that's the opposite. It kind of rolls to the outside. If you're flat-footed, you want to correct your heel and correct your foot position before you stretch. We talk about this a lot in my clinic. As you're doing this, kind of put a little bit more weight, kind of bias your weight to the outside of your foot. Okay? So down, kind of rotate out to the side a little bit, make sure my heel is vertical. Same thing, hold for 20 seconds, and then opposite side. Same thing, I'll put this other foot behind it, just for stability. 20 seconds, repeat 2 times at least each side. From that, let's go to adductor stretch, okay? Adductors, muscles that add your leg, to your body. Hold 20 seconds, same thing, kind of sit back a little bit, get a bit more of an enhanced stretch. The adductors, okay? And back, switch opposite side. Same thing there, kind of sit back a little bit. 20, 30-second holds. Repeat twice each side, okay? And then we do like a kind of a combination stretch and hip mobility exercise, okay? Make sure you get both internal and external rotation. So you're externally rotating the front, This will produce kind of a stretch in your glute, your piriformis muscle. I'm sure you've heard of the piriformis here. So same thing, you can kind of come forward, kind of turn to the side a bit to get a better stretch outside of my leg. At the same time, encouraging mobility, stretch of my for internal rotation on the opposite side. Okay, 20 seconds. Then I'll turn and do opposite. Okay, same thing. Piriformis, hip stretch on the left side in the front, lean forward and enhance the stretch. At least 20-second hold as I'm getting a nice stretch back over here. All right, and that'll be our 3 stretches here. And then I'll follow with some dynamic work after that. Just kind of adductor work. You don't have to be on the line, but the line certainly makes it easier. Okay, and just work on some spreads, some reaches and spread. So I get my arms going here, back and forth, maybe 5 times, boom. Then go back and forth 5 times or so, or maybe back and forth 2 or 3 times. Then I'll kind of quicken the pace a little bit and just do some shuffles, back and forth, okay, back and forth. Now we're kind of reactivating your calves, reactivating your quads. We'll enhance the activation of quads by doing some lunging, some forward lunging. Okay, so I'm going forward, boom. I'm trying to bring my chest towards my thigh, kind of getting my butt out to try to activate my glutes and my quads at the same time. Okay, back forward, boom, 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 boom. Okay, repeat going back that way. You can certainly throw in some high kicks as well. Boom. Okay, and even some jumping jacks. Okay, back and forth. Boom. Okay, spend 10, 20 times doing each of those. So that's pretty much it. So that's it. That's a complete program, including static stretches, dynamic stretches. Definitely consistency is the key with this stuff. Definitely you could do it as an individual before you play. Even better, do it as a team, do it all together. But like I said, consistency is a key. It doesn't have to be just before you play, it can be every day, okay? But like I said, you can take it to the next level as far as foam rolling, self-massage, some strengthening techniques. Let's make sure there's not something else that's imbalanced in your system. And that's something we can certainly do, outside the clinic. You can come in for free screens as well to have us take a look at you and figure out what the imbalances are. So with that said, any questions, call us, Orthoball PT. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.